Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Because it's time to right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
All right, my friends, we are live. And it has been quite a journey. So I am so excited, and I cannot believe that we have gone on this journey together. 500 consecutive writing streams. Wow. So, welcome to the stream. Today's going to be a very casual, very laid back conversation. Originally, I was going to do a writing sprint. I was originally going to do writing sprints and then just barrel headlong into getting some writing done. But I thought about it. I'm like, okay, let's actually get. I just kind of feel like talking about the process. So, it might be a little bit of a shorter stream. I'll see how I feel today. But yeah, I mean, it's been a journey. I can't believe that we've gone through 500 writing sprints. And then make sure to stick around. I'll probably go through each of the key learnings that I've had. Maybe I'll frame this as a filming, and we'll do it more like a video, and I'll go through each of the what I've gone through in this journey. But yeah, it's been a journey. I did not expect to be able to build up this crazy writing group. ML, good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Hope everything is treating you well. Absolutely. So it's when I think about this past year, I never ever thought that I was going to be able to do one one month's worth of streams, let alone 500. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And by the way, for anyone just hopping in, it's like stick around. I'll probably talk about what the future looks like as well. What do the next 500 streams look like? Will there be 500? Maybe we'll just stop today. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that too. You, the community, or myself have come too far. But to win, how many streams is too much? How many streams is not enough? Only time will tell. Hey, what's up, TR? Welcome, my friend. Glad to see you on here as well. Yeah, congrats on 500. Thank you. Yeah, I could say that so far this has been such a crazy journey. And I would say that one of the biggest learning pieces for me, one of the biggest things has been how this consistency has helped make me a better writer. And I know not everybody has that the lifestyle where it will stream every day, and that's fine. I don't think daily streaming is something that everyone should do unless you have the logistics, the lifestyle to actually be able to do it. By the way, what's up, WTC in the house? Thank you so much. Like 500 streams is a lot. Yes, I definitely feel it. So like I don't think 500. I don't think daily streaming is what everyone should do. I think you got to figure out what works for your lifestyle, but I think it's that consistency. And what really worked for me is showing my writing on screen. Kind of, I was almost like forcing myself to be showing up and writing. And I think that's what was very, I think I knew doing live streams would help me be consistent. But I think by pushing myself to write on stream, I feel like 80% of the time that I wouldn't allow myself to slack off. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm showing it on screen, and I feel like I'm doing it for the community, and I'm doing it for myself. So I wouldn't. It was almost like an anti-procrastination model. It's really interesting. I was like, I think any writers who struggle with consistency or accountability, live streaming is definitely a real tool. Now, I'm not saying showing your writing on the screen. I don't think that's a thing that everyone should or want to do. I think you have to have a certain level of self-confidence in your own writing and your own style, even if you know that like your writing's going to be great or it's going to suck. I think there's a certain level there, and then you also have to be aware of like the internet, right? I've had people come in, hop into the streams when I'm writing, and be like, "Yeah, this is like the greatest. This is like the coolest story ever." And then I've had other people hop in the streams and then try to like shit talk it and be like, "Yeah, this garbage, blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "All right, well, thank you. Yeah, hopefully give me like valuable feedback about why it's garbage. Don't just try to troll me. Oh man, it's like with reviews, right? It's like somebody leaves a review on your book. It's like, all right, if you're gonna leave a bad review, at least tell me why it's a bad review. Like tell me why it was a bad experience. Like give me feedback. Hey, what's up, Mary? Welcome. Like Happy New Year in 500. Love it, Jake. Happy New Year. Happy right now. Hey, what's up, Rachel? Glad to have you in here, my friend. Welcome, 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 everyone. So, oh wow, I think it's just very surreal. I think this experience has been very, very surreal. And think I'm going to try to see if I can count on the number of my fingers all of the things that I've learned in the past 500 days. I feel like it should be coordinated. In my perfect world, I really wanted to come out with a video, but I was like, I just don't think I have the time to film a video. Maybe I'll do it this Sunday, and it's make it a little bit more structured. I might have time on Sunday. We'll see. But I figure like you guys have been here with me throughout thick and thin. Some of you have been here as of recent. Some of you have been here with me through last year, through the end of last year, through the beginning of last year. And actually, I'm kind of curious. There's actually something I'm really curious about. So if you're here in the stream, when did you start watching some of the Right Now streams, or when did you first come across the community? I would love to hear whether it was for a podcast, maybe it was the fall, maybe it was last summer. I would love to hear. I'm just really curious how long you've been watching the Right Now streams. If you know a number, great. Be like, yo, you know what? I started watching on stream 222. Rep. It's Right Now cred. Yeah, it's something interesting when about a content creator said something. They're like, especially with community building, there's something that really speaks to a lot of people is being able to be a part of a community early on, because you're only going to be part of where that community's development is at only one time in the community, right? You were, for anyone who's been here for the first 500 streams, those 500 streams are never going to happen again, right? So by the time, if I'm able to persevere and push to 600, 800, 900, 1,000, however many it is, right? However many I'm able to get through, we will then look back at that time and be like, wow, we have come so far. Hey, what's up, Unwritten? Welcome, welcome. Like, for like a week. Well, you know what? I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that, because I think part of what is awesome about this community is that we always have new writers hopping in here. And like I tell everyone, I don't think the Right Now streams is a thing where you have to like show up every single day. I'll show up every day. I'll show up every day and do the work, so that way it works with your lifestyle, right? Some writers are able to hop in every day, some are, and that's cool. You have the lifestyle that works for you. And other writers will hop in like 3 to 4 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, when it suits their schedule, when they're able to write, when they're feeling the writing vibe. Maybe they just want to come hang out, and maybe you just want to hang out and throw on the music and the stuff in the background while you're doing other stuff. Yeah, because I know we have a good percentage of our writers tend to be on computers, so that is a thing that I know, which makes sense because we're all working, we're all trying to write anyways. We're in a place to write, so I always think that's interesting. But yeah, so it's interesting. Okay, so what have I learned? So I think I've had definitely a couple key learnings. I'm gonna write this down because these are good things to think through. All right, so what was it? I got something here. Just like randomly pull out sticky notes, and I'm like, yeah, I don't even know. All right, cool. Old sticky notes. So what have I learned? That consistency is, it's kind of interesting. I don't know if I don't think consistency happens to anyone overnight. It's interesting. It's almost like consistency happens as a result of a successful habit. Because let's say you're trying to build up a new habit and you've been doing it for two, you could say that you've been consistent for 2 weeks. But I think it's something that happens over time. And I think what happens with a lot of writers, like by this point, I probably talked with like thousands of writers just over the course of the past year and a half, because I connect with so many writers because I want to know. I want to know what the experience is like, whether that's doing for right now stuff or unrelated. So it's interesting that so many writers out there struggle with finishing their book, struggle with at least finishing the first book, anyways. I know that's not for everyone here in this stream or if you're watching on the replay, but a lot of writers do. And I ask myself, why do so many writers struggle with finishing the book? Now, I think it's common knowledge. We all know writing a book takes time, right? Most people know writing a book takes time, it takes energy, and it takes effort. But I think the thing that a lot of writers don't take account is the different facets of the writing process, right? So sometimes it's like, okay, well, if I just write this one draft of the book, then that's it. But I think it's such a process, right? You got to get the first draft, go through the second draft, you got to revise it, you got to go through editing. There's different styles of editing. You got to get the book cover, you got to go through proofreading. There's so many aspects, right? You need readers. Once it's published, you got to figure out how you're marketing it. Hopefully, you start marketing it before you launch it. Right? You do your book launch, and there's just so many facets. There's so many aspects of publishing, of writing, and then publishing a book. And I think because it is so time consuming, that a lot of people get deterred not by the act of writing. A lot of people get deterred by the process of writing, which is part of the lifestyle of being a writer. And that is the thing that I want to encourage. That is the thing that I hope to encourage. If I got hit by a bus tomorrow, what I would hope to encourage would be writing as a lifestyle, not writing as a hobby. I want you to just like take that in for a second. I want you to genuinely ask yourself, do you write as a lifestyle or do you write as a hobby? And for me, right, the reason it's a lifestyle is because I could stop writing for 3 months. I could stop writing for 4 months. I could stop writing for 5 months. And I would not be any less of a writer because I would still be able to go back and go into my same flow and same consistency. Now, if I wasn't writing for that long, that much period of time, of course, I'm not getting any work done. I feel a gap. I feel like there's something missing in me when I go for too long without writing. I think that writing as a lifestyle is recognizing that you're able to take breaks from your writing when you need to sustain your mental health or when you're just dealing with life, right? We all deal with life. Life's crazy. Um, but writing as a lifestyle is recognizing and understanding what your process is when it comes to writing, right? Because your writing process is going to be different from the next writer's, right? Maybe you only need to do 2 drafts of a story, or maybe you're the type of writer you got to do 30 drafts to get it. Maybe you have the most incredible characters in the world, but your world building is garbage, and people are like, "Yeah, this world kind of sucks." Right? We all have strengths and weaknesses, and I think understanding what our process is, and that's part of the journey. Right? Part of the journey is understanding it, and build and combining that with our consistency helps us to be able to write and finish the books. A lot of writers struggle to finish that first book because they don't understand their processes, their writing processes, and they don't have a writing lifestyle. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Sometimes I say good things right now. Oh man, I really do think it's that writing lifestyle. And I think what's interesting is actually, yeah, I'm gonna write that down because I actually really like that. I'm just making some notes to myself because if I have time to film a video, I'm going to like be more succinct and I'll close up, get a little closer, consistently and not hobby. Okay, let's see. What are y'all saying? Mary. Yeah, Mary, you've been with us pretty close to the beginning. Mary, I know you've been with us close to the beginning. Like, no idea year. Can't remember yesterday very well. Mary, you were with us on one of like the early writers groups too. Before we even you were with us before when we were still Kaufman's Corner. That's actually probably a really good YouTube question. That's probably actually a great question for the chat. I'm actually really curious. Let's see. I'm just gonna start this very simple poll. Um, were you here before the YouTube channel rebranded to right now? This is like a yes or no. This is such an easy one. I just do that full. I'm kind of curious. Let's see. Tiara, will you be doing sprints today or are you just chatting right now stuff? Obviously going to hang out either way, but just curious. Yeah, I think I'm just going to chat today, Tiara. Originally I was going to sprint because I actually do really want to get work done on Scarecrow. But I think I feel like I kind of just have to I feel like I just have to celebrate in the moment for myself that I got to 500 streams. Um, and I wanted to share this feeling with you, the community, because you guys like we're going on this journey together, right? You guys have been here through the thick and thin, whether I was able to show up to my studio or whether I was traveling or even when I was in the hospital, I still showed up because I believe in writing. I believe in the writing lifestyle, and I believe in what we're doing with this community together. So, but great question, TR. I like almost did a sprint, and I'm like, oh, I knew I was gonna regret myself if I didn't like hold some type of space to recognize it because I think achieving goals is important. I didn't even know that 500 was a goal until it happened. Rachel, like I started really following right after Freaky Friday, but kind of lurked for a while. Yeah, and I think that's actually pretty common. I think a lot of the times, like writers kind of like to lurk in the background, kind of watch the community and kind of see how writers interact, kind of say like, what's the vibe? Because I think there's also a consistency as well. Because I think writers want a writing community, but before they invest time and like, okay, here I am, who am I? I'm going to start interacting. I think they want that like guarantee that there's a certain level of consistency that works with their lifestyle. So, Amelia, like you started following the channel sometime in late summer last year. Yeah, that makes sense. That you're here right before Freaky Friday, right before you're with that portion. TR, you think you joined late summer too? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think Mara, I think that's what's important, right? You brought up a really interesting point. You said not always working on your novel, but usually writing something, right? And I think this is the beautiful thing because we all have different goals. For one writer, a goal is to publish as many books as possible. Another writer, their goal is just to write as much as possible. And there's no right or wrong way to it. But I think there's still the same lifestyle as a writer, regardless of what your goal is, which I think is very fascinating. Tiara, you think you joined right before you changed the name? I know, right? Oh man, for anyone who doesn't know, I actually started YouTubing back in 2013. So 2013 when I launched the first YouTube video. I actually don't even know if I still have it on the channel. I like feel so like I like laugh at myself so much. I'm just like such a dork. I was like, I'll see if I even have it on the channel. This will be kind of interested actually to see if I actually still have. I might have fit in it. I was like, I don't know if I cared about having that first video. I don't know if I have the first video or not. I have it saved, but I don't know if I have it available to the public or not. And you're like, yeah, I'd have to go check after 500 or so live streams. I don't know. Let's see. Wait, actually, I those original ones weren't live streams. I don't think those original back in 2013. So originally, I didn't start out writing. I was trying to do inspirational content, but it took me a while to figure out. What's interesting is I always knew that I liked writing, and I always knew not that I've been writing my entire life. I always knew writing is what I was passionate about, but I didn't think I was going to be able to make writing an author or a YouTubing thing. I didn't know YouTube that well in the beginning, and I was trying to follow trends to try to do a whole inspirational or comedic thing because I thought that would be more popular. When I went full in on live streaming this year at the end of 2023, so 2024, when I started in 2024, I knew without a doubt that writing, like I've always known writing was what I was passionate about, but I knew I wanted to go all in on writing as my branding and everything that I would be known for in perpetuity for the end of time. It was almost like I had been like not staying true to who I am intrinsically for such a long time until like it just meshed together so well, and I was like, it's meant to be. It's meant to be, my friends. Let's see. Thanks so much, Brain. Happy to see you in here, my friend. 500 consecutive. I know. I know. It's so crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, ML. So like there was definitely a couple of you guys who were in here before we launched a Discord. When I think about the community as a whole, for the Right Now community, I would say that I want to say we rebranded. So we had our first major holiday writing event, which was the first write-a-thon in June. I think no, it was July. It was July of last year. We had rebranded. I had rebranded the whole channel to Right Now right before that, but we didn't launch the Discord until Freaky Friday. The Discord was the single greatest decision we've ever made for the Right Now community. Like literally, Discord hands down best decision I've ever made. And I've never really been a big Discord fan prior to it, so I didn't really understand the value that I needed. So yeah, Discord's been incredible because I think Discord allows us to interact with each other and make friends and grow and ask questions and share our work and do all the things outside of the live stream. Because YouTube is great for building a community around a single source, but it doesn't have the features to allow you to really interact with each other outside of the chat. Now, I know YouTube has some features coming down the pipeline. I know they do have some features coming down the pipeline, but as of this current point in time, big. Like I subscribed in March of this year. I haven't given up. I heard most people give up around 20,000 words into their first draft. Is that true? That's actually really interesting. Big, I've never actually Googled that question before. If there's like a word count that people give up, the stat I know is that 97% of writers just don't finish writing their first book. That I do know, but I'm not actually sure if there's a word count. Interesting. I'm gonna Google it. What is the average word count that a new writer tends to give up on when writing their first book? I don't know. Let's say it's. I'm curious. Let's see. When writing a new book, what? How many words do writers usually give up on? Yeah, I got nothing. Google's not giving me any cool results. So, interesting question, but I'm not sure if there's a. And this was just at least from an initial Google search. I don't know if there's an initial Google search for that question. And by the way, Evan, welcome to the stream. If you're just hopping in, welcome. We're celebrating 500 consecutive writing streams. And I just threw it in the chat. If you've been around the community, how long have you been around? I would love to hear. I'm kind of curious if there's any like moments in time that really stood out to you. Let's see, WTC. I was here when the channel was under your name. Yep. So yeah, the original brand was Kaufman's Corner. That was my original YouTube channel brand name thing that I was going for originally, and it was crazy because it's like Right Now came to me and like a light bulb. I had like an epiphany, and it just like it made sense. I think my only challenge with it originally was like, okay, well, it's not the only Right Now that exists on the internet, so I'm going to have a little competition. But I knew Right Now was always the way. So yeah, Right Now was definitely a good call as well. It's actually probably the first best decision I made last year. It's probably Right Now, and then Discord was the second best one. I mean, outside of starting daily live streaming, of course. So yeah, so I would say that the biggest thing I've learned is definitely writing lifestyle. I would say that is definitely a big thing. And let's see what else. Yeah, so I had thrown up that poll and each kind of curious. So it looks like we got 40% were here before we rebranded to Right Now, and 60% are newer post Right Now. So we've got post Right Now and that pre Right Now. And let me tell you guys, for anybody who is in that pre Right Now category, Just wait a couple years, and you guys will be like the OG, the OG crew. And then just think when we get a couple years from now, anybody who's been in this first year, the first like real year of right now itself, which right now is really rebranded. I want to say around June, I believe, which we're probably coming across, coming up to the anniversary of when I rebranded to right now, actually, which is interesting. I didn't even think about it like that. So, but anybody who's been in this period, this past year, we've just continued to grow, right? Because I'm always trying new things. I want to bring on more people. We got more volunteers doing things. We're putting more events. We're doing more Discord. We're doing all the things at heart to give you more ways to write, to help you find ways to help you be more accountable, to find ways to help you be more consistent, to give you another avenue for all of us to just write with other writers, right? So I think there's so many things that we're doing here, which is super cool. Let me think. What else? What else have I learned from 500 writing live streams? Hmm. I've learned that I think that every single writer who comes into the stream, whether they participate or not, is actually extremely creative. I know that on these for the story and critique stream, I've done almost 200 stories. I'm like almost at that 200 story level, and I don't think that out of the 200 critiqued that there is a bad story amongst them. I think there are a couple where they definitely have some opportunities and things that need to be fixed and things that they like definitely missed the mark for what they were trying to achieve. And helping I think by interacting with so many different styles of writers personally has helped open up my mind to realizing just um, how possible it is for writers to be successful. And a lot of the times, the only reason writers aren't successful in achieving their goals is because they get in their own way. Yeah, I mean, I think that happens a lot because they get in their own way. Now, if the things that I can help with is the skill factor, right? So if a writer gets in their own way because they feel like they don't have a certain type of skill, that's something that we can help with them with. Sometimes I can help with motivation. I think sometimes just by default of having a daily writing community can help motivate writers. But I think there's also another aspect that comes from within of I need to have enough drive from within myself to figure out some level of consistency that is actually realistic for my lifestyle. Yeah, I would say that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, so I would say the lifestyle is one, having the drive is two. What else? How about, yeah, I mean, I always knew people, and always knew most people were super creative, so that wasn't new to me. Um, what actually something I have learned, which is crazy, is just how similar a lot of major problems are that writers struggle with are actually super common. There's like I I feel like at some point I'm probably going to be able to break down like the 10 most common like writing problems that I've actually like seen across like thousands of writers, and I could probably point a finger that like these 10 problems are probably, if a writer is struggling, it's one of these 10 problems. Like I feel like there's something like that. I'm not there quite yet because I know I can have name a handful of them on my finger, but yeah, it's just interesting because it's just like things that a lot of writers struggle with. There's just a lot of commonalities, mm, which is interesting. Yeah. Let's see what else. So yeah, I'd say having there's common writing problems. You know, a big thing that I've learned through these streams is the need for a writing community. The need for a writing community. I didn't know that there was such a need for a writing community. I knew that I wanted to build something that was writing based. Like I knew because I love writing and I just want to share that with the world. But I didn't realize there was such a need for it. And I think trying to understand what is how does a writing community feel and what like does a writing community actually mean? What I see with a lot of author tubers is a lot of author tubers. I'm not saying to anyone here or in general. This is just kind of what I see from the entire niche as a whole. Is there's a lot of author tubers out there where it's niched and it's focused around themselves and community. It's like a back and forth, right? It's them and the community. It's almost like a two pronged approach. But I think the only true way to build a writing community where it is accessible to all styles of writers is to make it exclusively about the community itself. But of course, it takes one person to start it and to get the drive and to do the things and then build a team to get to do all the things for the writing community. Hey, what's up, Stephanie? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Welcome back. Always good to see you in here. Hopefully, the writing is treating you well. We're just talking about the past 500 streams. Stephanie, I know you popped in and out of the community for a while too, actually. So I know you popped in at some point last year, actually, if I believe. Let's see, Mary. Like out of 97% of people who've been writing a novel, 30 out of 1,000 go on to finish it. Only 6 out of those 30 go on to see their novel published. Lilani Stewart. That's interesting. I mean, I could totally believe that that is a metric, Mary. I think at one point I'm probably gonna write. I think that's an article that I'm gonna post because I actually have that scheduled. That'll probably be my next part of writing article. But I think I'm gonna do like a stats, like statistics article on like what is the actual percentage that I've seen for how often writers achieve certain metrics. So I'm so fascinated by that. What's up, Corny? Appreciate you popping in, my friend. And you guys know what? Like even working on branding stuff, like that's still part of the author journey. I think people always think that the writing lifestyle is only pen to paper. Pen to paper is not the only part of being a writer. That's a large part of it. That's a large part of it, of course, but that's not the only part, right? And learning the other skills, if you do not have the resources to pay for them, is quintessential to being able to figure out how to have the writing lifestyle that you want. Hey, Holly, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that, my friend. Oof, man. I was like, Holly, I think I came across you pretty early on in the journey as well. I think we connected pretty early on last year. I forgot how long, but I think we did because I know that I think you were on early on in the podcast, and I think I started the podcast over the summer. Yeah, I think I started the podcast over the summer, I believe. It might have been pre-summer. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. Dang, Stephanie's got cred over here. I think I've been coming to your stream since your 30th stream. Stephanie, you know what? Like, here you go. Here's a dragon. Here's a dragon for you, Stephanie. That's actually super badass. That is super badass, by the way. I need to come out with I need to have the dragons with the right now stuff on it. Dang, Stephanie, that is so cool, by the way. It's like so like you've really seen it grow then over time, which is very cool. I googled what percent of people who start writing a book finish it. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty certain about the 97% of people who like 97% of people never finish writing their first book, and that I do know for a fact. But I'm not sure of some of the other statistics. Let's see. Okay, what else have we learned? Yep. So, need for community was that one. Yeah, the need for community. Let's see. What else? Yeah, Holly, I think so as well. Like, yeah, 10 flies. I think we met sometime over the summer too. Yeah, I would say so. But I think it was early Strummer because Holly, I'm pretty sure you were with us at the first write-a-thon. Pretty sure you were with us with at that first write-a-thon, first live stream, I believe. Man, time flies when you're having fun. I was like, man, and I can tell you guys, like, I definitely did not think that Scarecrow was going to get where it was. Like, I really did not expect for the last Scarecrow to become this like all-consuming project that was just going to like be like my first, probably be considered like my first claim to fame for at least my author journey. Even though I know I've written so many other things and I've worked on so many other things, because I talked about it so exclusively, and it's like what I've been known for these uh in these streams and these communities. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna deliver a great reading experience. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna deliver a great reading experience with Scarecrow. That is what I care about. I don't actually think I care about it becoming a bestseller. I think I just want to deliver an incredible reading experience. I want anybody to read it to be entertained, to have fun, and to always be able to pick up new things with each reread. Yeah, that's important. So, whew, man. All right, let's see. What else have I learned from 500 streams? I've learned actually that I've learned a lot about the author branding side of being a writing streamer, and there's a lot of these things that I just didn't know about before. So I think when you pull back and you think about what are all the logistics, I think that there's a lot of things to do, but there's a certain way that people generally, writers who are trying to find consistency, motivation, want to connect with people who are writing on camera. I think there's actually a reason for that, which is why certain writers really stand out. Mm. Mary, I love that. Steph, like you did math wrong, but you were here since the 43rd stream. Nice, my friend. Hey, 43 is still pretty good. 43 is still pretty. 43 out of 500 stuff. That's some cred right there. Oh man. Let's see. And man, what else? Okay. What were some other things? Wait, the branding one that was all right. What other things have I learned from writing for five? You know what? I think I've the one of the I've just learned how to be a better writer. I think that's a big thing. I think I've learned how, and I feel like I already have. Okay, I feel like I have a certain skill level with writing because I've been writing my entire life. I don't think I'm an incredible like advanced writer, but I do think that I have a certain degree of storytelling capability that comes very inherently to me. And I know this because I can look at stories and understand what the problems are. And this is what I see with the critique stream. I continue to amaze myself that I read these stories cold that I've never read in my life, and I'm able to understand like, okay, what's the problem? It's a character problem. It's a world problem. It's the dialogue, and I think, yeah, it's just interesting. I've just become a better writer. And I think the consistency of the writing live streams, and I think being around so many other writing stuff outside of my personal experience has really helped to keep myself ingrained in a lifestyle that is surrounded by writing. Yeah, yeah, I've definitely learned how to be a writer for sure. Being a better writer. Yeah, and so like I think if there's something that people like really struggle with, if they're not, I think if somebody is struggling with having a writing based lifestyle, I think a really easy solution is to put themselves around more writing communities. It's literally as simple as that. Put themselves around more writing communities, whether that's in person. Like some people, virtual things don't work. Other people, virtual is great. But I think putting yourselves in and around writing communities, writers, people doing the things that you want to do, whether or not you're writing every day or not. Like that's not what it's about. At times, I think you just need to be in that ambiance and that vibe. And I think that's probably why people generally like when I write on screen, because it's like it's obvious I'm writing. If it's on, it's, I can't really cheat that one. Stephanie, like I think it's great how you have brought so many writers together. Yeah, and yeah, first off, thank you for that, Stephanie. That's very kind of you. Um, yeah, and you know what's interesting is in the beginning, I didn't know what type of writing community or like what types of writers that I was going to be bringing together. That I didn't know. I thought it was like, and guys, I'll tell you this. I genuinely thought that I was going to be building either a beginning writer community or I was going to be building a community around fantasy writers. Like that's what I thought. And that's because I write fantasy, so I'm like, okay, I'm me writing fantasy. Only fantasy writers will want to come. But I think through the different types of like variety streams that we do, and I think things like the critique show where we do different writer stories, and I think because I've tried to branch and create so much variety with everything that I do because I'm always trying new things. I always want to like sometimes things work and sometimes they don't, and that's all right. That's part of the process. But I think it really surprised me when I came to really fully understand that this is a community for all styles of writers, not just fantasy, not just romance, not just children's or thriller or I'm like but all these other ones, all these other genres. Because writing at heart, what doesn't change is character development, world building principles, these things like the core things. What changes per different genres is genre mechanics. And I think we generally do tend to have a bigger portion of people working on books, but I don't think it's just books. I think we also have screenwriters in the community. I think we also have people who work on fan fiction. I think we have people who work on graphic novels and different styles of scripts. I don't think that the writing is specific to a genre or a style or a format. I think it's really about writing. Now, of course, we do things, right, that is very more like genre specific. Like we all know Fated Fantasy is fantasy romance, right? We do things that are genre specific because we're always, and I know me, right, I'm always trying to understand what are things that are going to attract more writers, right? Is it those things? Maybe it'll be a huge success, maybe it won't, right? But sometimes we don't know unless we try. So yeah, Mary, that's ain't that the truth. Becoming a better editor, including editing your own work. Yeah, and I think learning to become a better self editor can can helps so many writers improve. It can help so many writers improve at just writing because you're learning how to improve word choice. You're learning how to improve pacing and rhythm and flow, and then you're seeing your own mistakes. Now, usually writers can fast track that when they end up working with like others, like coaches, editors, and so on and so forth. But for those who are going their own route, they will improve just by the act of learning from their own mistakes and being able to recognize mistakes. And I think that's actually really incredible. Yeah, that's cool. Hmm. What else? Hmm. What else? So yeah, I feel like I have five pretty solid ones. Okay, so I've gone on a good thing. So I would say the five biggest ones was writing lifestyle, having a drive, common writing problems, need for community, and being a better writer. I'd say those are the big five. So without further ado, let's talk about the next. Let's talk about next year. Mary, that's a great comment, by the way. You're like the interactive aspect is really helpful. Other streams are more like classes, really informative, but not as interactive. And I think that's the beauty of live streaming. I think live streaming inherently is an interactive experience, but a lot of author tubers when they do live streams is about writing sprints, which writing sprints are fun and like we all should be writing, but I think segmented writing sprints is hard to always have full engaging conversations and know that I can show up and have a great conversation. So I think that interactivity, you're absolutely right, works so hand in hand with live streaming. Yeah, I'd agree with that. But the next year. So what do the next 500 live streams look like? You know, guys, I'll be honest with you. When I think about live streaming, I just think about like live streaming in the future. I know I'm not going to be able to live stream forever, right? I know like there's going to come a day where something is going to happen, whether that's life or maybe that's a physical thing or maybe it's a health thing or maybe it's a motivation thing, whatever it is, right? Something's going to happen and I'm not going to be able to continue to and I will break the chain, right? And that's all right. I'm all right with that because I've already achieved my goal of doing as many live streams as I did. And I think at this point, it's not as much for me about live streaming every day. It's about being showing up for this community every day and being able to grow a community that's not focused on me, but to be able to grow a community that's focused around the art of writing, the process of writing, and different writers' voices, different writers' lifestyles, different writing, just different writers can be heard from, and it's representative of all writers. And that is what I mean, as it's perfectly named right now. That's that's what it is. Uh, Daphne. Like I think the advice that you gave me when you read my writing actually helped me look for those things a little bit more that I was doing wrong. I wasn't explaining enough. Thank you. Yeah, and I think that's the cool thing, right? I think when we're able to share our work with others, I think um, when we can get feedback that we're able to learn from, that can really help us grow as writers. And I think sometimes a lot of people out there struggle with giving feedback in a way that's really constructive and helpful. I feel pretty used to it because I've been doing it so consistently for this past year and a half. And I've done it consistently in previous formats, but at least in this past 2 years, I've kind of gotten my rhythm of how do I do it in the moment and then do it for my editing clients and coaching and all the stuff in the community. But as I look towards the future, I'm yeah, where am my mind at? So you guys know that we have for the rest of the year, you guys know we have the writing events. We have the Faded Fantasy competition that's coming up literally in a couple weeks. By the way, anyone who hasn't submitted yet for Faded Fantasy, deadline is Sunday. I want to see all your stories. You got 3 more days to write a flash fiction story. Deadline for Faded Fantasy is Sunday. I want to see everyone's stories. Okay, so we got Faded Fantasy, and then our next event is going to be the Writers Retreat. It's going to be the Right Now Writers Retreat. I'll start talking about that. I have to get through the AWC before I can even have the space to really focus on it. But that's going to be at the end of summer, and then we're going to start circling back into Freaky Friday once we get into the fall. And in a perfect world, Scarecrow will be ready. If Scarecrow is ready, I'll probably take a breather from the live events to focus on Scarecrow for the Scarecrow book launch and how I'm going to go about that. So that's fall, and then we get into December, and we're back at the Right Now-a-thon. I would love to do the Right Now-a-thon as the yearly, like, end of year mega live streaming conference. I had so much fun doing it this past year. Like, oh God, I had so much fun doing that Right Now-a-thon. I was burnt, and I got burnt out by about 23 hours. I think it was that 23-hour mark was when I started feeling it. But yeah. So I'm going to continue to play into the writing, into the live writing event portion of it, because I don't think people really do that, and I think that's super cool. As a writer, I kind of get inspired by like, oh, there's this cool writing event that I can now look forward to. Courtney, that's really cool. Your advice pushed me to publish a novel, not just under myself, and only do one for paper chapter sites. I appreciate that. That's actually really, really cool, Courtney. All right. What else? What else do we got? So what else am I focusing on? So obviously there was a focus on the live writing events. Outside of the live writing events, what else is the focus on? Um, my focus is on building the team. So you guys have seen with the website, like if you guys really want an indication of where right now is heading, I think the website is going to be the next real focus on, and I'll throw it up here so you guys can all see. I'm sure most of you guys have seen the website update, but when I think about it here, all right, so you guys can see the website. I might change the video. I haven't decided, but really, it's about focusing around right now, and I should hopefully be able to deal with where I'll get it to the right now URL within the next week or two. We'll see. We'll see. I'm almost there, and then we got the right now. I really want to focus it around a writing community, and then I know, obviously, Faded Fantasy is where the focus is at right now, but it is my goal to make the website more interactive and to be able to do more things with the website with the Right Now community as well, right? So I think right now it's simple and it does the information that it needs, but yeah. So I want to be able to continue to give more options for the website, the Discord, and the Right Now YouTube channel, which are all different avenues for writers to be able to connect with Right Now with what we're doing. Like I said, continuing to build out the Right Now team. Actually, no, before I go away, like this, first off, this is a huge shout out. Huge shout out for all of our volunteers, by the way. I don't know if I've really called out our volunteer page outside of myself. Obviously, everyone knows our Chat Soul, our community engagement director. I should probably actually put Chat Soul on here somewhere. And then Courtney, our wonderful community book club director. Courtney, you're awesome. And then our seasonal volunteers, Adrian, Alessa, Holly, JL, Laura, Natalie, and Rachel. Everyone's wonderful. All involved with different things. We got our Faded Fantasy and our and the Read Now Book Club, and we just like we're doing so many different things. And you guys know me. I'm just trying to I'm trying to create a community where different writers where we're coming together and doing these things because it's difficult to do bigger writing events by myself, and the more writers we have, the more we're able to do the cool things and do it smoothly so no one ever gets burned, so everyone has fun, so we're all able to get the value that we want out of a writing community. So yeah, so I'd say growing the team, website, giving you guys more ways to interact with each other. Probably by the end of this year, I'll probably start pushing into more different types of live stream events by going into doing more in public live streams. What that means is I'm going to start doing more writing based streams at either conferences, writing conferences or conventions, bookstores, and writers groups outside of the studio, because I think connecting online is one aspect to it, but I think there's also a whole other world of writers who are in their writer circles, who are in the conventions, who could benefit from the now community. So, and I think part of that cool interactive experience is there's such a cool thing there. There's such a cool trade off. So I know that is something that's definitely in the future. Yeah. Let's see what else comes to mind. I think those are the biggest things that I can talk about right now. I have a couple of other cool kind of like surprises coming up, but I don't have anything that I can like set and announce quite yet. I'm trying to work on some things to give you guys like more exclusive things for the Right Now community. I know I have a couple of exclusive things to the YouTube channel membership. And by the way, shout out to YouTube channel members just for supporting the community. Anybody who's supporting the community with their wallets, I appreciate you. It means so much, right? And all the money that gets put into this, I don't take out of. I literally reinvest it back into the community to grow the subscription, to do the subscriptions for the things, to do the to advertise, and eventually be able to pay all the wonderful volunteers who are who want to do the things, right? I imagine a future where everyone can get different levels of value out of a community like this. So, aw, Courtney, is everyone sending me birthday wishes? Oh, that's very cool. I don't think I've checked out the Discord chat. Clearly, I'm focused on the live stream. I was like, Oh, that's so cool. I appreciate you, my friends. I really, really do. I've just been like so like in hustle mode today. I think like I recognize it's my birthday. I do recognize it, and I'm celebrating a little this weekend, which is super cool. But my mind's just been so focused on like I'm all this like hustling stuff. This is kind of probably one of the first years where I just haven't really focused too much on the birthday, but I appreciate you guys. I think it's fire. I really think it's awesome. Aw, I love it so much. Aw, I appreciate you guys. Heart. Happy. Aw, Fluffy. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so so much. TR, like, wait, it's your birthday? Yeah. Today is the actual birthday. Who knew that five stream 500 and my birthday were going to be falling like right at the same time? That was not planned at all. Let me tell you. Is that a sign or is that a sign? Like, guys, tell me. Like, my birthday and the 500th stream happened to like align with the stars. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Keep on going. Stream 1000. Oh man. Did you do something nice for yourself today? I wish, TR. I am working nonstop. This weekend. This weekend. So I'm giving myself space to celebrate this weekend. So yeah, giving my space to celebrate this weekend. Because I was traveling, I did a little stuff with family that was cool this past week, and now this coming weekend I'll get a little space to celebrate in my immediate area. So thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, my friends. Thank you. Um, and you know what's crazy? It's just like my birthday this year has just been so like neutral to me. I'm way more excited about Faded Fantasy. I'm excited about Scarecrow. I'm excited about the AWC. I'm like excited, and there's some other things I'm working on. It's like these are all the things I'm excited about. The birthday is nice. I'm like, all right, cool. Another year older, great. More experience, hopefully. Maybe more mature. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but yeah, yeah. I think overall, everything pertaining to like the right now community and all the things that I'm doing, all the things that you guys are doing, everything I see, I'm just excited about. I'm eager, I'm enthusiastic, and I'm excited. And y'all motivate me. Courtney, I love that. Like, I woke up and saw crazies, so I made a GIF. If nothing else, you teach me daily more about how to do different things. I appreciate that, Courtney. That means a lot to me. I know, TR. I appreciate you. I know. I always tell people to make sure you take mental health breaks, and then I just go on and hustle, and I don't take breaks at all. Yeah, but you know what? I feel pretty good. I in the past year since I've started streaming, I think there has been one moment where I could say I started feeling a little burnt out, and it wasn't feeling burnt out on streaming. It was burnt out on the way I had balanced my schedule. And I realized I needed more space for me, so I made some adjustments on the back end, and I figured it out. Right, I figured it out. Yeah, I've never felt burnt out on writing. I'm gonna write until the day I die. Right, like I'll probably like be like in. Hopefully, I can make it to like my average life expectancy, and like my last thing will be like writing the last word on the page. The end. There you go. That's how I want to go out in the end. But although by that point we'll probably have technology to just be able to like think the story all page. Aw, Chandler, my man. The Chan man is in the chat. Welcome, my friend. Exactly, exactly. That Chandler, you knew it. I'm not. I am turning exactly 500 today. Oh man. Oh, that's funny. Courtney and Tiara, you're like, it's a Libra thing. Libras unite. I know. Me and my Taurus ways. I continue to focus and be steadfast about my work ethic and my writing. Oh man. Yeah, so I mean, I think overall, I mean, I think those are the biggest things that come to mind. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've summarized up the where I want the direction of the community to go in the writing streams, the continued growth with the website, the Discord, the YouTube channel, growing out the volunteers, and continue to grow out the team. Um, and then I'm going to be making a headlong push into live events. That'll probably be the next really big thing. I feel like that might start happening like by the fall. We'll see. But yeah, I'm just gonna start making a push into more doing live things, right? So that way there's gonna be a way for you guys to go on a journey with me and meet the writers of the world. Thanks, Chen Man. Like a wise old soul. Sometimes I'm wise on occasion, and other times I'm not. But I'm wise all the other times. Wow, sounds like we got a lot of Libras in the chat. That's cool. I'm like, I'm my 500-year-old dragon being taken over by Libras. Who would have thought that we had so many Libras in the community here? That's kind of funny, actually. But I guess that actually makes sense. I actually get along very, very well with Libras. Libras is one of the signs I always do very well with. Sansa can be the backup Taurus. All right, I accept Sansa. That's Sansa can be my backup Taurus any day, Tiara. Oh man, yeah. I mean, what's next? I think my personal goal. So outside of like the right now stuff, my personal goal is just to finish Scarecrow. I mean we all know, like you guys know, I've been working on Scarecrow for a while, but I really want to figure out I really want to find space for myself to make a push to get to this draft. I thought the second draft would be faster, and clearly it's taken me the same. It's going to take me the same amount of time as the first draft. But the third draft is going to be less than a month, and I actually know that for a fact because I've already started. Because I know the entire story, everything that I've worked on. I kind of feel like I know it now to the to almost like the back of my hand because I've like spent a level of detail now working on the baseline. I kind of like I built the foundation, and now I've like layered on like the character elements, and I know by the time I get to the end, I'm just going to be in a happy place. Even though I know the problem is I need to cut out a large chunk of words, which is all right. But yeah, I know my third draft is going to be pretty quick, and I'll probably take it through a third draft before giving it over to an editor. So we'll see. But yeah, my personal goal is just to finish writing Scarecrow. I really want to get the book published. I'm so excited. As y'all know, right? That's the goal. The goal we all aspire to get the book published. Woo! Courtney, cheers to your grandma. May 15th is a good day to be born. Ah, all right, my friends. I think that's all that I got for today. I appreciate y'all for joining me. Thank you all so much. I feel like I was able to touch on the journey as a whole and what I'm thinking for the next portion of right now. But we're in a good place. We're in a good place as a community, and many more writing streams to come. More fresh faces, more fresh writers, more experienced writers, more events, more conversations, and above all, more books and scripts and stories being published and put out into the world as we continue to learn about the craft of writing and be able to tell better stories than writers who aren't in a community or don't have the resources for the big publishing houses. So more to come. Courtney, halfway to the record, you're like, all right, guys, now we're onto the road of 1,000. The road to 1,000. Well, granted, the YouTube channel will be at 1,000 soon, so we're getting close. The YouTube channel will probably get there within the next couple months. So I mean, I think the YouTube channel is what at 855. By the way, if you're hopping in here and you're not part of the community, subscribe to the YouTube channel. 855 subscribers. Whew. We'll be at that 1,000 before you know it. All right, my friends, that's all that I got for you today. Thank you all for joining me. This has been a fun conversation. Tomorrow is Friday, so I'll be back tomorrow for another daily writing sprint stream at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. So I'll be here for a writing stream. Come join us. We'll get in some writing tomorrow. Saturday is going to be another writing stream. And then Sunday is the next episode of the Story and Critique stream. If you need feedback on your story, submit now. Next Sunday is the next episode of the Story and Critique stream, where I do a live reading and live feedback for writers of the community. If you want to submit, and maybe you haven't, maybe you have. It's a great experience. It's a great way to give you some consistency, some motivation, and I promise you, I will always be kind. So make sure to submit. That's linked down in the YouTube chat down below. I love all your faces. I appreciate you, and that's all that I got for you today. But unfortunately, it brings us to the end of the stream. Don't forget, words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kaufman, and I'll catch you on the morrow, and maybe I'll see you on the 1000th stream. Take care, writers. Stay creative, and I'll catch you on the next stream.
Right now.
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 Because it's time to write now.